10 to 12. Now, for more than 80 years, Pinewood Studios has been at the centre of some of the biggest blockbusters of all time. James Bond, Mission Impossible, Star Wars have all been filmed there over the years. Now, Pinewood has announced plans for a major new visitor attraction, which could create more than 3,000 jobs. Let's find out more with film critic and film industry expert James Luxford. It's interesting, James, that the company behind the studio says that this is the right moment for a visitor experience. I can't actually think of a worse moment for a visitor experience with all of the restrictions that we're seeing in place and social distancing, but hopefully, I suppose, all of that will be a thing of the past by the time this potentially comes to bear.
Absolutely. I think we are looking at very much to the future of the film industry, and it's a very proactive move, I think, in terms of reminding people what's magic about the movies, and particularly what's magic about Pinewood's involvement in the movies. All of the movies you just listed there, Pinewood was really sort of just been at the centre of so many of the biggest blockbusters that you would associate with being made in Hollywood. I think the average person would probably assume it's all made in a studio in California somewhere. Not so much. It's usually made a lot closer to home.
What do we know then about this proposed visitor attraction?
So far that it will cost a lot of money, create a lot of jobs, and it will be, I believe it's being called Screen Hub UK, and it's designed to obviously draw visitors, but also show the growth of the film industry in the last 20 years or so, particularly in terms of effects. You know, the UK has become a hub for special effects industries as movies become more reliant on digital effects. There are so many companies that are making sort of the digital side of things as well as the physical with Pinewood. So I think this is going to be a hub for people who are interested in cinema, interested in the way movies are made, and hopefully also feature programs that people looking to get involved in the film industry will be able to access.
So it sounds like sort of part museum, part studio experience, which actually we don't have a lot of over here, do we? I mean, it's done very well over in the US. We've got the Harry Potter experience on this side of the Atlantic, but that's pretty much it, isn't it?
Yes, and it's surprising given how many things are filmed here and how much history there is. You know, the carry-ons and so much of course, James Bond, so much of film history is associated with Pinewood and the UK, but we don't have film-related experiences. We used to have the Museum of the Moving Image in London, which was a wonderful asset to the visitor experience in Britain, but nothing in terms of what you have in Universal Studios in Hollywood, the backlot tour, where you can go get on a tram and go around and possibly see something being made. I don't know if that's going to be part of the new experience, but certainly seeing artifacts and seeing the production side of things is not something we have too much of, apart from the Harry Potter experience.
Yeah, so the planning application is being worked on at the moment, then there'll be all sorts of local consultation work after that as well, so it's still a while off. Just finally, we talk a lot about how coronavirus has completely decimated the travel industry. It must have really hit the film industry hard. How is that still trying to keep on going at the moment?
Like everywhere else, the cinema industry is reacting to what's happening. At the moment, it feels like, as someone who reviews the latest releases and as someone who charts what's happening in the film world, it seems like every week brings more worrying news. Films have almost on a broad scale moved either to 2021 or to November and December. Of course, Tenet came out, was intended to be kind of the heralding of the return of the cinema. Like everything in life, I think what was planned and what was feared. It's ended up somewhere in between. It's done very well, but people, understandably, there are some people who still don't feel safe. There are some people who do feel safe. We're at different levels of comfort in terms of what we feel we can do at the moment, and also different countries are at different stages of getting back to whatever the new normal is. I know America in particular is in the strange situation of making the films but not really being able to show them as broadly as the rest of the world, because America has so many variances in infection rates. So it's constantly in flux. There are going to be a lot of movies moved to 2021. There's going to be a lot of movies that will be continued to move depending on how things recover.
Yeah, James, good to talk to you. Thank you. That's film industry expert James Luxford on the news that Pinewood is looking to create a film-inspired visitor attraction. Could be great news for jobs around here as well. More than 3,000 potentially being created. Right, here's Leo Sayer now.